Hey guys, Matt here and welcome to my fragrance obsession. Now the scent that I'm going to be reviewing for you guys today comes from the house of Coty, and it was launched in 1993, and this fragrance is known as an aromatic fougere. This is a fragrance called Stetson Sierra. Now Stetson Sierra is named after the Sierras, which are a beautiful mountain range in California. It's absolutely beautiful. If you ever get the chance to look at it, or if you ever get the chance to go, you need to. I've never been, but I would love to. It's just an absolutely beautiful sight. Honestly, you'll be amazed. It's really, really beautiful. And that's what this fragrance is influenced by. Now, what sort of vibes do I get out of Stetson Sierra? I get the forest, I get waterfalls, trees, rivers and streams, and I also get this sort of Christmassy vibe out of this scent, and I think that's due to the fact that there's pine needles in this scent. Now the notes for this fragrance, in the top you're going to be getting aldehydes, artemisia, caraway, juniper berries, basil and bergamot. So the strongest notes that I can really detect in this fragrance are the aldehydes. The aldehydes, it creates this sort of heavy, heady smell, but it's not in a bad way. It's very potent, pretty strong, and it creates this sort of peppery vibe. And there's no pepper in this fragrance, but the aldehydes does that. The juniper berries are also really strong in this fragrance, and it's the juniper berry note that really gives me this forest feel. It's very relaxing. It's a very nice sort of soapy, comforting smell. The opening's definitely what I enjoy more than anything in the whole fragrance, and it's just because of that juniper berry note. It's really, really nice. Not to forget, there is also the basil and the bergamot. The bergamot adds this really nice fruity vibe, but I'm not talking like a typical orange smell, so it doesn't smell orangey, but it smells like somewhat fruity. It adds this some sort of like unknown fruit smell, which is really, really nice. But I think the whole take on the opening is the fact that it's soapy, smoky, and green. Those are like the definite three factors that I would give the opening of this fragrance. In the middle, we get carnation, rose, pine needles, jasmine, and geranium. So we're getting a lot more floral notes now, but I think from the first spray, like as soon as you first spray this fragrance, you do already get that pine needle smell. And like I said, it gives you that Christmassy vibe. But after it's been on your skin for about, 10 minutes, the middle notes do come into play, so the top notes aren't there for that long. The jasmine's definitely detectable in this fragrance, and I love the smell of jasmine. It's a very rich smell, and the jasmine in this actually smells very genuine. It's definitely a jasmine note that I think you need to smell out if you're into jasmine. If you're not into jasmine, then this isn't necessarily going to be your most ideal fragrance. But give it a chance, see what you think. Carnation and rose are also very detectable in this fragrance. The rose, to me though, doesn't smell like a typical red rose. It smells like more like a white rose. I'm getting a very clean smell out of this, and that's what's giving me that white rose sort of smell. It's actually really nice. It smells beautiful. And in the dry down, we get leather, amber, musk, oak moss, and cedar. So we are getting a nice woody base in this fragrance, and I think the cedar note in this scent is pretty much there with you throughout the whole fragrance. It really doesn't leave you, but it does really come into magic in the dry down. In the opening, it is there, like I say, it's very woody and it's quite a sharp cedar, but in the dry down, it softens and it really smells beautiful. It really dries down to this sort of balmy, sort of creamy smell. It's really strange, but very nice. I mean, the smell's not strange. The way to describe it is strange. The smell is absolutely beautiful, but it's just a really pleasant smell. I think overall, Stetson Sierra is a very mature fragrance, and if you're into your mature scents, you will like it. Now, something else that I've never really done in any of my videos, guys, I'm actually going to be giving you guys fragrances that I think smell similar. The two fragrances that come to mind for me are Polo Green by Ralph Lauren, and the second fragrance that comes to mind is Drakkar Noir by Guy Laroche. Reason being, I can definitely detect two factors from both fragrances. I get the green and smoky vibe that Polo Green has, and with the Drakkar Noir, I get this sort of black, dark, sort of leathery, musky vibe that Drakkar Noir has. But if you were to put both of those fragrances together, you would pretty much get Stetson Sierra. Not a bad thing, because both fragrances, in my opinion, smell amazing. I'm a big fan of Polo Green, and I'm also a very big fan of Drakkar Noir. So if you know what both fragrances smell like, if you remember them really well, and you smell Stetson Sierra for the first time, you will probably get both vibes straight away. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because both fragrances smell amazing in my book. Don't let the price fool you. It is a cheap scent. You can find it in Walmart. It is classed as a drugstore scent. But do not let that bother you, because this smell is actually a gem to me, because I think it smells amazing. I would also like to mention that this is a cologne, and Coty do release a lot of colognes. Like, they don't release eau de toilettes, they don't release eau de parfums, so just be aware that you aren't going to be getting a bombastic, long smelling scent, because it's definitely not that. You are probably going to get about 5 to 6 hours out of this, which is pretty good for a cologne, when usually a cologne will only last about 5 to 6 hours anyway. So yes, I think you'll be pleased with this fragrance. So guys, thank you so much for watching my fragrance obsession. My name is Matt. I really hope you've enjoyed this review. This has been for Stetson Sierra by Coty. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, guys. Keep smelling good, and have a wonderful day.